Imagine waking up to a world where the sun has vanished. What would happen next? Our star, our life. An ode to the sun. The sun. It hangs in our sky, a familiar fiery orb. We often take its presence for granted, this celestial body that dictates our days and seasons. It has faithfully risen and set for billions of years, a steadfast beacon in the vastness of space. This star, our sun, is the ultimate source of almost all energy on Earth. It drives our weather, fuels life, and paints our world with light. Without it, our vibrant blue planet would be just another cold, dark rock adrift in the cosmic ocean. Imagine for a moment that this constant, this giver of life simply wasn't there. Our daily lives are intricately woven with the sun's rhythm. The food we consume begins its journey with sunlight, through the magic of photosynthesis. The warmth that makes our planet habitable, the very air we breathe, is tied to its radiant energy. The sun is the conductor of Earth's great symphony of life. What would happen if that conductor suddenly left the podium? What melody would our world play then, in the ensuing silence and darkness? Prepare yourself, for the story that unfolds is one of cosmic proportions and stark realities. The instant the sun ceases to exist, a profound cosmic event occurs. Yet here on Earth, we would remain blissfully unaware for a short, precious interval. Light, the fastest thing in the universe, still takes time to travel the immense distance between the sun and Earth. That journey is approximately 150 million kilometers or 93 million miles. So the last rays of sunlight, the sun's final farewell message, are already en route, speeding towards us at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. We would have an 8-minute and 20-second grace period, a final window of normalcy. During these crucial 8 minutes, life on Earth would proceed as usual. The sun would appear to hang in the sky, shining with its familiar brilliance. Birds would continue their songs, children would play, and the world would operate under the illusion that all is well. Then, the moment arrives. Abruptly, without warning, the sun would vanish from the sky. 1 second, it's there, bathing the world in light. The next, an inky blackness, punctuated only by the distant, cold light of the stars. Imagine the collective gasp of humanity, as day turns instantaneously into a night deeper than any ever experienced. Our solar system, a cohesive family for billions of years, would be scattered. Once the last photons from our vanished sun have graced our skies, an absolute and profound darkness would descend upon Earth. This wouldn't be the familiar darkness of a cloudy night or a moonless evening. This would be the complete absence of sunlight, a Stygian blackness that our eyes, accustomed to some form of ambient light, would struggle to comprehend. The only illumination would come from the distant stars, faint and cold, offering no warmth, no comfort, only a stark reminder of the vast, empty cosmos into which we were now adrift. Cities might blaze with artificial lights, but these would be mere pinpricks against an overwhelming cosmic void. Panic would undoubtedly be the first global wave of emotion. Imagine the news reports, the frantic calls, the dawning realization of what has transpired. Power grids, already strained by the sudden, universal demand for artificial light, would begin to falter under the unprecedented load and the eventual depletion of easily accessible fuel. The initial temperature drop might not seem immediately catastrophic. However, the primary source of incoming heat, the sun, is gone. The Earth's stored heat, while substantial, is finite. Without the sun's constant energy input, our planet would begin to radiate its warmth away into the cold vacuum of space. Within about a week, the average global surface temperature would plummet below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Regions accustomed to balmy tropical weather would experience their first frost, then snow. Temperate zones would quickly descend into a deep, unyielding winter. The vast oceans, which cover over 70% of our planet's surface, would begin to freeze. This process would start at the poles and rapidly extend towards the equator. A layer of ice would form on the surface, growing thicker with each passing day. The surface world, the continents, the shallow seas, would become an increasingly barren and frozen wasteland. Section 5. The Great Withering Photosynthesis grinds to a halt. Photosynthesis, the cornerstone of life on Earth, would cease almost immediately without sunlight. The green machinery that sustains our world grinds to a halt. The vibrant hues of foliage, the lushness of fields, all powered by distant solar photons, would face an abrupt end to their energy supply. The impact on plant life would be swift and devastating. Smaller plants and phytoplankton, those microscopic oceanic drifters that form the base of marine food webs, would perish within days or, at most, weeks. Larger trees and more resilient plant species might hold out a little longer, drawing upon stored sugars and starches within their tissues. The verdant carpet that covers so much of our planet's landmass would wither, turn brown, and succumb to the encroaching cold and darkness. The cessation of photosynthesis has another critical consequence: the production of oxygen. The collapse of plant life signifies much more than just the loss of greenery. It represents the unraveling of entire ecosystems. Section 6. A Silent Kingdom, the Fate of Animal Life. With the rapid collapse of plant life, the animal kingdom faces an immediate and dire crisis. Herbivores, the plant eaters that range from tiny insects to massive elephants, would find their food sources vanishing before their eyes. Within weeks, mass starvation would set in. The great migrations would cease, the herds would dwindle, and a chilling quiet would descend upon lands that once teemed with grazing animals. Carnivores and omnivores which prey on herbivores or consume a mixed diet would experience a brief period of abundance as weakened plant eaters become easy targets. However, this reprieve would be short-lived. As the herbivore populations crash, the predators and scavengers would, in turn, face their own starvation. The intricate food web, so carefully balanced and sustained by the sun's energy flowing through plants, would unravel link by link from the bottom up. The oceans, vast and deep, would not be spared. Phytoplankton, the microscopic plants of the sea, form the base of most marine food webs. Section 7. Humanity's Flicker, the First Days of Darkness. For humanity, the sudden disappearance of the sun would trigger an immediate and unprecedented global crisis. The initial shock and terror, as darkness falls and the stars blaze in an unnaturally black sky, would swiftly give way to a desperate scramble for survival. The primary concerns would be light, warmth, and food. Existing stockpiles of food, fuel for generators, batteries, and warm clothing would become the most precious commodities on Earth. Supermarkets would be emptied, gas stations drained. The veneer of civilization, so dependent on predictable systems, would begin to crack under the immense strain of this cosmic catastrophe. Power grids, designed for a world with predictable energy demands and reliant on continuous fuel supplies or, in some cases, solar power itself, would be among the first critical systems to fail. The surge in demand for artificial lighting would be immense, but the capacity to meet it and sustain it would rapidly diminish. As power plants run out of fuel or succumb to the encroaching cold, cities would plunge into true darkness, broken only by fires or battery-operated lights. Global communication networks would break down, isolating communities and nations, making coordinated responses nearly impossible. Section 8. Seeking Sanctuary, the Quest for Enduring Warmth. As the Earth's surface transforms into an uninhabitable ball of ice, humanity's only hope for long-term survival would lie deep beneath the frozen ground. The planet's internal geothermal heat, a relic of its formation, and the ongoing decay of radioactive elements in its core and mantle, could provide a stable source of warmth. Ambitious, large-scale engineering projects would be required to drill deep into the Earth's crust, creating subterranean habitats where communities could shelter from the extreme cold. Existing deep mines could be repurposed and expanded, becoming the last bastions of human civilization, powered by the very heat of the planet. Nuclear power offers another potential, albeit finite, lifeline. Existing nuclear reactors, if they could be maintained and refueled, could provide electricity and heat for enclosed, insulated communities for decades, perhaps even centuries, depending on uranium supplies. The construction of new, specially designed subterranean reactors might extend this period. However, the technical challenges of operating such facilities in a globally collapsed society, coupled with the finite nature of nuclear fuel, would make this a temporary solution at best. It would be a race against the clock, a constant battle to maintain the technology that stands between survival and extinction. Section 9. A universe of suns lessons from a darkened Earth. Our sun, the star we call Sol, is but one among an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy. And our galaxy in turn is just one of perhaps 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each of those stars is a potential sun, a celestial furnace capable of warming planets and, just possibly, nurturing life in its orbit. This thought experiment, imagining our own sun's demise, serves to underscore the profound and precious nature of the relationship between a star and its planets. We are, in a cosmic sense, incredibly fortunate to reside in the habitable zone of a stable, long-lived star. The hypothetical journey into an Earth plunged into darkness lays bare the astonishing fragility of life as we know it. Our existence and the existence of the entire terrestrial biosphere hangs in a delicate balance, utterly dependent on a continuous stream of energy from a star located 93 million miles away. It's a cosmic ballet, where the slightest misstep by our stellar partner, or its sudden absence, means a catastrophic end for life on our world. This journey into darkness should illuminate our gratitude for the light, the warmth, and the vibrant life that our sun makes possible. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.